Hi, Karen. It's nice to see you again. How have you been since our last meeting?
Okay.
Good, good. Okay, so the last time we talked, I see that you were having trouble with your daughter. Right? Is that still, the same issue?
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay. And you said that she's out of control. She's fighting in school. She won't listen to you. Does that accurately sum it
Yeah.
all up pretty much? Okay.
It does.
Okay. And I can't help but wonder, when do you think this problem with Lily started?
Probably not too long after her father passed away.
And how long ago was it that he passed away?
It's been about 6 months now.
Oh, so fairly recent.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you talked to her about the passing of your husband? Does she explain her feelings about that to you?
I've tried talking to her about it, but she doesn't really say much. She just says she's fine, and she
Okay.
doesn't open up about it.
Okay, and so you said that she had been acting out. How often does she act out?
It seems like it's pretty much all the time, to be honest.
All the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what causes her to act out? Like, is there anything in particular that triggers it?
I can't really think of anything specific because it just seems like it's anything and everything, to be honest. She just gets mad over everything. I could say something to her, and even if it's something nice, I could tell her that her hair looks good, it seems like, and she gets mad over it. I don't know.
Okay, like, how does she, when she gets mad, like, what do her fits consist of?
When she gets really mad, she'll start screaming, slamming the door, throwing things in her room.
Okay. And how long do these episodes, like, when she starts having these fits, how long do they usually last? Like,
Oh gosh. There's been times that, like, if she doesn't get her way, if she doesn't get it, like if she wants to go to the movies and I tell her no, she can't go, it could last 30 minutes.
oh wow.
Easy.
Okay, and you said when you say fits, like, she screams and slams doors and,
Mm-hmm.
okay, does she, is there any crying or hateful words or?
Oh yeah.
Okay, one of those. So it's an emotional fit, it's not just it's not a
Yeah.
closed off, it's an emotional fit.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying that she's, in your opinion anyway, that she's just completely out of control, and at this point you don't know how to handle the situation anymore. Is that,
Yeah.
okay, and you feel that you and your daughter have a tense relationship, and that makes you feel really defeated?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
And rejected?
Yeah.
Well, that's understandable. She is your daughter, and the mother-daughter bond relationship is something that is really important to a lot of people, and I would assume very important to you. Obviously, you wouldn't be here, so I understand. Now, I've come to some conclusions about, what I think, how I think that you feel about this, but could you just tell me, how it does make you feel so that I can better know what I need to focus on while trying to help you?
Yeah. It's overwhelming, a lot of the time. It keeps me upset constantly. It's hard for me to sleep or to even really focus on anything because I'm just constantly worrying about her and what I can do to help her, and I just don't know what to do anymore.
Okay. So obviously this is causing you, more than one problem. It's not just the relationship with your daughter, because it's, it's problems for yourself as well.
Yes.
What, out of these, yourself being overwhelmed and upset constantly, and the Lily, out of those, what do you feel that you want to focus on first and foremost?
For myself, I guess trying to take better care of myself.
Okay, better care of yourself.
Yeah.
And in turn, so that you can, and once we get to, to that point where we can take better care with you, we could start trying to repair the relationship with you and your daughter as well. So,
yeah.
And the more that you share with me about, the relationship, the more that a drastic decline since your husband died, that I can see that. Do you think that maybe, since your husband died, that the issues with her started because you've been more of a friend to her than a parent, because you're trying to get her, her constant approval. And in doing that, maybe she's, in a way, trying to elicit parental responses for you. And the best way that she knows how to do that is to act out so that she can get parental attention. I mean, does that...
It could be.
Do you think that, does that sound like something that, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And I understand that you think, from what I understand, that her actions are targeted at you.
It feels like it.
Okay. But I'd like to offer a little bit, like a different perspective on that. She's a teenager. How old is Lily?
She's 14.
14, okay. So, adolescence at its finest. She's going through a lot of emotional changes right now. She's trying to figure out who she wants to be, who she's becoming. She's trying to essentially develop her personality and herself. And in doing so, she's had a really traumatic event. She's lost one of her parents. And, it's 6 months ago. That's really recent. So, she's already, we're adding, a significant death to this already unstable, adolescent. Do you think, that could cause depression, that could cause, that could be the reason for her behavioral problems. Has she seen a therapist?
No, she hasn't.
Okay, so maybe we could go ahead and get her into some, to some therapy classes before we have our next meeting. Let me make a note to do that so I can get you some, some good therapists that I would recommend, or you could do it on your own as well, whichever. And another thing, even a psychiatrist, just to see, because, she's 14, but she very well could be depressed or have, any array of issues such as that. So let's look into that for her.
Okay.
And then also, and then the psychiatrist as well. Just trying to find a good one for you here. And then, and hopefully after we get those two things done, maybe we could have a meeting to discuss the results, and then if they're good to go and there's no problems, we could look into getting you into therapy together, just so that maybe we could get her to open up. But if there is, we can independently get her into some therapy and to see a psychiatrist, things like that, and they could start to work on those problems with her. And then after her problems with herself are settled, then we could work on getting you and her, that relationship back together. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get you a list of some local therapists, psychiatrists, and see what we can do there. And before we, leave today, is there anything else that you wanted to discuss, to talk about? Any other behaviors that she's, anything new that's happened since our last meeting that I might need to know to tell the therapist, psychiatrist, anything like that?
No, I think we've pretty much covered it.
Okay, well, like I said, I'll get you a list of those. I'll go over that with you if you'd like me to, and then we could get her into those, and then we'll have a meeting to see, what the therapist, psychiatrist recommends, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Thanks, Karen.